quality mic in audio. I have no idea why. Like it's the one that we started with, and I have no idea why it cut out a few minutes ago. So yeah, I don't know. So now we are back on the high quality mic. No, actually, let's make this hand open. Good morning, Yuki. Back there, you can see. Okay, well, she's leaving now, but that is one of my other cats, Yuki. You don't see her very much. She's a very cute, tiny little cat. Very independent, too. She barely pays any attention to me at all. She's more like a cat's cat. She likes to hang out with Pixie and stuff like that. But not with me. To her, I am like a scratching machine, and that's it. I have 4 cats. Pixie, Golem, Raijin, and Yuki. They are, here's Pixie back again. The thing is, you almost never see Golem because he really doesn't... I mean, he's a very loving, very sociable cat, but he really doesn't kind of mess much with me. And Yuki is a very independent cat. Raijin is a very scaredy cat. He's afraid of everything. And Pixie's the cat that's always with me. So... Okay, Yodel says that, okay, well, I don't know. I mean, is this a problem everybody else is encountering? Because it sounds like a connection problem. Like, you know, maybe internet is not... Because according to Twitch, my stream configuration quality is excellent. I was kind of feeling good about that, but I don't know. If you guys want me to feel bad, I'll feel bad. Okay, well... So back on topic, today's comic is about things that piss me off. Oh, there's some good advice from Mr. McAllister. Maybe if you refresh the stream. I'm so sorry about the poor quality, but I don't really think there's much I can do about it, since, you know, like, it also depends a lot on my connection, and my connection is only as good. Like, there's a limit to how good my connection can be. So... Okay, so this comic is I like drawing the comic on the stream because I especially like drawing stuff that I can finish on the stream, you know, because I always kind of feel bad for, like, sometimes I don't think every single step of the process of creating art is fascinating, you know. I realize that some parts of it are probably more fun to look at it than others. So sometimes I feel kind of bad because, you know, since I stream like most of the process of creation of an image, some parts can get kind of boring. But you know, it's, you know, what are you gonna do? You have to go through them all. So I really like streaming, creating the webcomic, because this is something I can create in one sitting, and you know, kind of, it might be a little bit more fun to watch from start to finish, because you get to see the entire thing. Now, I see questions about what pissed me off, and no, nothing is pissing me off right now. This is kind of like, okay, in the back, I'm not sure how much quality we have with this webcam, but hey, it's the best I got. I promise that once I'm making enough money, who knows, maybe on Twitch or on YouTube or on Patreon, I'll get better quality equipment, a better microphone. One of those things that they put on the microphone to cover it, and so that it doesn't make any noise, and better camera. But for now, maybe you can notice that in the background there's a mirror. I, of course, live in a rental apartment, and the owners of this apartment... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, AJ. Well, okay. See you around. That's too bad. So anyway, the owners of this apartment... By the way, like if you see that, like, I normally am not the kind of guy that wears shorts, but after the broadcast I go to the gym. So I found that a good way to not have any excuses to not go to the gym is to wear my gym clothes since the beginning of the day. So right now I'm wearing my gym clothes, see? So anyway, the owners of this apartment thought it a good idea to make that entire wall you see in the back a mirror, which I think is tacky as hell. But then again, I'm not an interior decorator, and this is not my property. I rent this apartment. So anyway, I use that mirror as a sort of a whiteboard, or mirror board, or whatever. And whenever I get ideas for a comic, I write them down on that mirror. So you can kind of see that the mirror is like all written up with erasable marker. So what I do is I write my ideas back there, and I just let them sit there for a couple of weeks. And in a couple of weeks, if I still think they're funny, if I still think they're amusing, or if I still think they're relevant, I'll make them into a comic. So this is basically, like, today's comic is basically just, yeah, it is useful, but I do think it's kind of tacky to have a whole wall as a mirror. I mean, this is not the 70s. But still. In any case, yeah, so I use that mirror for that, and whenever, like, ideas pop into my head for a comic, I just, kind of let them sit there for a while. I try not to make comics of stuff that just occurred to me in that moment. I kind of like to let them sit for a while and think about them and think about how they would be funnier. If in a couple of weeks I still think it works, then I use the idea. So yeah, that's kind of how my thought process works for the comic. Although I wouldn't like put, like, that is a method that a lot of people use. That a lot of people use and stuff like that. If you have an idea for a joke, kind of write it down and leave it there for a while, and if after a few days you still think it's funny, then make a joke out of it. But again, keep in mind that yeah, maybe my flat was a dance studio. But no, I've met the owner, and she was definitely not a dancer. But anyway, what I was saying is that is a tried and true method that, like, I didn't make it up or anything like that. A lot of people use that method for writing stuff like jokes and stuff like that. But I wouldn't put a lot of stock in my word because I've never considered myself an extremely funny guy. If you think I'm funny, well, thank you. But I've never really thought of myself as an incredibly funny guy or anything like that. But that method is a method a lot of comedians use and stuff like that. So I remember the first time I heard about that method was from Rob of Cyanide and Happiness. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. But yeah, Rob from Cyanide and Happiness was the first time I heard about that method. So yeah. So okay, here's the first, second panel. Now let's go for the third. Okay, let's see what we got. So, okay, so what pissed me off? Nothing really pissed me off lately, but there is something that like pisses me off much more than it should. And so I decided I would make a comic about it. And you know, I'm curious to see if anybody agrees with. I know about people that agree with me because I didn't just get the idea from my own anger. Like, there's a lot of people that are pissed off by this. But of course, I'm going to keep it a surprise during the broadcast. I mean, by the end of the broadcast, you're going to know what it is. But for now, I'm going to keep it a surprise. I think it's a lot more fun that way. Now, in case anybody's wondering, tonight I will be broadcasting video game live. So if you want to watch me play Dark Souls, I'll be playing Dark Souls tonight live for an hour or two. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be uploading that video to YouTube. So if you want to watch me play Dark Souls live, that's pretty much the only chance you're gonna get. I'm not gonna be uploading my video game playing to YouTube because that video game recording that I'll be doing tonight is so I can have some footage to edit another video that I do plan to upload to YouTube. So I, of course, when I do that, I guess I might as well just tell you now what I plan to do. So my idea is, okay, so I'm not a Let's Player, right? And I don't plan to be a Let's Player or anything of that sort. I'm not sure if that's good news or bad news for any of you, but, you know, I'm really not within what I plan to do to be a Let's Player. I think there's enough of that. I actually enjoy Let's Plays, and I do watch them. But I'm not going to be one. Or am I? You see, I look at several kinds of Let's Plays, and I always figure that there's many different ways to make it. There's like Let's Plays that are based on skill. So basically, you watch the Let's Play because the guy playing the game is incredible at it, and it's just, he's so good at it that he's fun to watch. I'm definitely not that guy. I'm better than average at Dark Souls, but and it's not just Dark Souls, because this is going to be with a lot of different games. So, you know, I'm a gamer. I can play video games to an acceptable level of quality, and I'm probably good at some games. But I'm definitely not at a level where it would be enjoyable to watch me simply because of how good I am at it. So that's not a possibility. I saw that there's other Let's Plays that are informative. Basically, the person knows so much about the game in question that it's fun to watch them play because you learn a lot about the game. Like Epic Name Bro with Dark Souls. And again, I'm not going to be that kind of Let's Player because there's there's enough of that. And, you know, I don't have the resources or the possibility to discover stuff about the games that I would play that other people would not know. there's comedy let's plays where like people just make jokes about it, like oh yes, like Furball says, there's also let's plays that are just kind of like for you to find out stuff, you know, like the informative ones I just talked about. Like, for example, yeah, you want to check out the new mods, you want to check out about the new games. Maybe it's a let's play about a game that's just coming out and you want to learn a little bit more about it, stuff like that. So okay, there's that too. Of course, I don't have the resources to do that. There's review let's plays, people that are just playing a game but also kind of reviewing it while they play it. Not going to do that either. I don't have the resources for that. Hey Mo, good morning. And I don't have the resources to show off games either because I don't have a powerful enough machine. So I can't do a technical let's play either, where I analyze the different aspects of the game and how it works and stuff like that, like Total Biscuit does. Those are also awesome let's plays. I wouldn't even consider them let's plays, and I'm pretty sure he would be pissed off if he heard somebody calling what he does a let's play. But you know, he plays through the game and talks about the technical aspects of it. But Total Biscuit has a monster machine. You know, I don't have those possibilities. So that's out of the question also. There's humor let's plays, like Two Best Friends Play, where, you know, they just kind of play through the game and make jokes about it and stuff like that. And, well, I'm not going to do that either because I don't consider myself to be that funny. And there's also humor let's play that are based on the frustration and how bad the people playing are. Like Game Grumps, where you watch it and the fun of it is just how much these guys suck at this game, and you know, you're amused by the comments and the frustration and all that kind of stuff. I call those frustration plays. Of course, I made this is all stuff I've thought about and studied and stuff like that. So I even made up names for them. So there's frustration plays and stuff like that, and there's a lot of other variety and stuff like that. So anyway, thinking about all these things, I thought, okay, what can I bring to the table that's new? What can I do that has not been done before? What are my skills? And what can I offer people that they're not gonna get through another channel better? What can I offer people that would be unique, that would be different, and that would give them a reason to watch my show, to subscribe to my channel, and all that kind of stuff? So, you know, I kind of started thinking about it, and about what I got, and what skills I have, and all that kind of stuff. And oh, the thing about Games Grump is that, like, any game is a rage game for Game Grumps. Like, they are just... Like, I love the guys. I especially love Danny. If you've... Like, most people have watched Game Grumps. They're super famous. So, like, Danny Sexbang from Game Grumps. I love the guy. He's amazing. But yeah, like, they're so bad that any game is a frustration game for them. So I was thinking, yeah, okay, what can I do? What can I do that's different? What can I do that's unique? What can I offer? And I thought, well, okay, what is it that I do? I'm an artist. So I thought, okay, how about I create a new type of Let's Play? Something unique that goes with my skill set. That goes with what I know how to do, and what I can offer people. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to do a new type of Let's Play where I go through a game looking at the game from the artist's point of view, and I combine playing the game with creating fan art of the game. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically play through a game and check it out from an artist's point of view. You know, look at the different things the game has, the scenery, all that kind of stuff, and find stuff that I want to draw, and then draw it. So, basically, I would record myself playing the game, then record myself drawing fan art of the game, then edit it all into one, like, nicely edited, as far as I can edit, video. And yeah, that's kind of like my plan. I'm not sure what to call them yet. No, I'm in between, like, let's art, or, you know, instead of let's play, or instead of playthrough, art through, or I don't know, like some stupid name, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of my idea, and so I'm gonna start it tonight with Dark Souls. I'm just gonna play through Dark Souls, not all of it though. You know, I'm not Lobos Jr. or anything to play through Dark Souls in an hour or anything like that. No, I'm just gonna start playing Dark Souls and looking for stuff that inspires me and that makes me want to draw. And that's what I'm gonna do tonight. Just record myself playing Dark Souls, and then I'll create the artwork and record myself doing that. And then I'll edit it all into a video and do that, like, wait and see how people respond to that. And if people like it, I'll start doing it weekly. And, it doesn't just have to be Dark Souls. It can be any video game. That's why I was asking you guys yesterday, like, what video games you thought were beautiful and stuff like that. So, I'd basically just pick a game each week, play some of it, and then create art based on it. So that's my idea. Okay, I understand your I see what you're getting at, Metalald. I promise you, I give you my word that I'll send you a quote this afternoon. And that way you can make a decision on whether you should spend the money on gaming stuff or you should spend it on a commission. I'll definitely, I promise you, I'll send you a quote this afternoon, and that way you can decide. So yeah, that's my idea. Oh, Yodel, you watch the Dark Souls speedruns? They are insane. Like, the level of skill these people have. So anyway, yeah, that's my idea. And any thoughts? What do you guys? Is this like something you guys would want to watch? Is this? Does this sound appealing? Does this? Oh, I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that world record run, Yodel. I mean, I did see the world record run, but not with the DLC. So I'm gonna have to check that out. I love speedruns. I admire that. I admire the skill. Well, I mean, it's not. It's like tonight. If you tune in to watch the video tonight, it's just gonna be me playing and commenting over the game, but nothing in particular. Just kind of talking about the game and about what I think is pretty and stuff like that. The final product, which I would upload to YouTube, would be edited. I'd edit it so. That's a good question, Vaughn. My initial plan is to both just play the game and be on the lookout for awesome stuff to draw. Mostly like scenery, like good camera angles and stuff like that. So so it would be like watching a person play, but the person stops ever so often to admire the game. You know, that's kind of the way it would be. You know, I would play, but I would stop very often to admire different things of the game and see like, oh, check this out, check this angle, look at this scenery, look at how this works and stuff like that. I'm not a game designer by any stretch of the imagination, so all I can give is my thoughts and my opinions as an artist. But you know, I might find some insightful stuff. Tonight I will not be making the art. Like I'll just be playing the game and registering the video, and after that you would get to see like the final product on YouTube. So okay, here we have the four stages of anger in today's comic, which is, you know, just and each one of them is gonna go with a different, you know, it's a reaction to a different thing. Yeah, that. I do agree. Like one of the, I was watching Silvermont. He's another Let's Player that I like. Uh, so I was watching Silvermont play Demon Souls, and he was at this level in Demon Souls called the Tower of Latria, and I was curious to see. I was curious to see the top of it. You know, the Tower of Latria looks like an underground place, but I was curious to see, like, if, you know, what the ceiling. No, sorry, not the Tower of Latria. He was in the Valley of Defilement. And I was curious to see, like, what the roof of that was like. He just wouldn't look at it, and of course, I mean, this is something recorded like over a year ago, so there was no way for me to. But it was very frustrating. I was like, oh man, I just want to look at the ceiling. So this would definitely be a person playing from an art point of view. And I would do that, like, again, you wouldn't see me producing the actual art. That would happen off camera, so I can record it well and edit that too, and all that kind of stuff. And my plan was actually to offer that later on to my Patreons. So yeah, it would be kind of like another way to offer stuff to my Patreons, which I actually plan to start paying a lot of attention to my Patreon page. Make it worth people, you know, make it worth it. Yeah, that's one of my plans for this season. I also have another idea. I might also. Okay, let's talk about it. See what you guys think and see if you think it's an interesting idea. So my other idea is this would be done completely off camera though, and what I was planning to do was to record. I think I talked about this before, but now I'm just going to do it. And what it is I'm going to record myself reading short stories and also draw an illustration based on the story, and then edit it all into one single video where you can like listen to the story while in the background you see art, an illustration of that story being made. So I'm gonna start with public domain stories. So I'm gonna start reading Lovecraft, and basically I'll just read Lovecraft draw an illustration, and then you can watch me. Then you can listen to the story and watch it. And this is something I was actually planning to do in both English and Spanish, because I'm a native Spanish speaker, and I noticed that there's not a lot of audiobooks in Spanish to read, and especially not Lovecraft. And I love Lovecraft. I love Lovecraft. As funny as that sounds. So I kind of wanted to do that. So, and I love reading out loud. You guys have noticed that. It's just a neat little project that I have. The idea is that it would have to be open source. It would have to be open source. No, not open source. Sorry, public domain stuff. Because of course I can't do that. I can't make like audiobooks of books that have copyright. So it would have to be stuff like Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe. Brothers Grimm, I think it would depend on which version I'm reading. Since Brothers Grimm has been published, then republished so many times, and interpreted so many different ways, I'm pretty sure that it's very easy to stumble across a version of it that's not actually open, public domain. How do I get that confused so much? I mean, I'll have to look into it. I don't really know a lot about this kind of copyright laws and stuff like that. It's also a way to send some love in the direction of my followers that are Latin American, like I am, and also my voice in Spanish is very different. Like, I have a much deeper voice in Spanish. So, I mean, I can make my voice deep in English, but and I just love reading out loud. It's like a hobby of mine. The part that really worries me about that project is that I'm not sure I have the proper equipment to record that audio. So at first, while I'm still working on like the budget I have right now, audio is just going to be the way you hear it right now. Probably not with the hum in the background, because the hum in the background is a fan that's located right here off screen. Because, man, I am not tolerant to heat. When I work. When I go outside and stuff like that, I'm just like any normal person with the heat. But to work, I can't deal with the heat. That idea would be done completely off Twitch. That would not be a Twitch idea, mostly because recording the audio would be an arduous process of, kind of doing it over and over again and stuff like that. So, and yeah, I just read public domain stuff. I'd have to do a little bit of research to make sure that whatever I'm going to read is public domain. As far as I understand, most of Lovecraft is public domain, but some of it is not. Not entirely sure how that goes. I'll have to look that up. Lovecraft is my ideal, but of course there's a lot of other stuff you can read. It's just that it has the perfect format for what I want to do. The stories are short, and I don't know if you guys have read Lovecraft. If you haven't, you're missing out. But it's the way Lovecraft used to write is so enjoyable to read out loud. Also, Edgar Allan Poe. I'm much more of a fan of Lovecraft than I am of Poe, but they're both such a pleasure to read out loud. The way they describe things, the way the words they use, it's such a pleasure to read. It's poetry. And then again, Edgar Allan Poe was a poet, but so yeah, those are a couple of ideas that I have that I'm gonna start working on tonight. Tonight I start recording my gaming sessions, and thereon we'll see where it takes us. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And of course, I'll still be streaming every day. Anything, commissions, all that kind of stuff. Oh, you see, the fun thing about Lovecraft, Vaughn, is that he has written many times that there is no correct pronunciation of these things. So, you can basically read it any way you want, because there is no actual correct way to pronounce Cthulhu. Every now and then I get students of mine asking me, like, how do you pronounce Cthulhu? And I say, well, okay, I pronounce it Cthulhu, but, in the book, in the story, it specifies that there's no actual way for us to pronounce Cthulhu. It's just kind of an approximation because we can't actually pronounce it. So, well, I am going to film myself drawing, of course, because, that's part of the video. I could broadcast myself reading it, but I wouldn't upload that to YouTube. It would just be a broadcast of me fiddling around with Audacity. What I would have to make sure is if Audacity can deal with the microphone being used by two programs at once. Because basically I would use a program called Audacity to record the audio. And a lot of times programs can't handle the microphone being used in two programs at the same time. So I'd have to check that out. And right now I don't have Audacity installed because of I actually formatted this computer when I installed Windows 10. So I don't have Audacity. Do I have Audacity installed? Let's see. No, I don't have Audacity installed right now. I can't actually test it right now. But, I have no problem in recording myself, like in broadcasting myself failing at reading a book. But yeah, I'll give it a shot if Audacity allows it. Because this would be an audio recording, so, and of course the drawing part, I would record that. And yeah. So, it's those are, oh shit, come on, Photoshop. So those are my channel plans. I'm just trying to create awesome content to make this channel grow into what it should be. So yeah, that's my idea. Any thoughts? Any requests on both of the ideas, on the video game idea and on the audiobook ideas? The audiobooks definitely have to be open source. You know, I can't do that with a book that has I can't do that with a recent book or anything like that unless the author actually gives me a permission. And I think it's not even the author's permission to give. I think it has to be like the publisher. Not entirely sure. So between those two projects and working on commissions and going to the gym and I should have a pretty busy end of year, which is awesome. I hope it's financially feasible, but yes, intellectual property owner. Thank you, Matlov. So yeah, I mean, there's no way I could read like a Tolkien story, or for example, my favorite writer. Well, my favorite writer is Lovecraft, but in that genre, my favorite sci-fi writer is Frank Herbert. So you know, there's no way I could read Dune or Tolkien or any of those, because those are heavily guarded intellectual properties. You know, I can't read Harry Potter or anything like that. And I wouldn't want to. You know, I respect these authors, and I definitely admire them. I mean, Tolkien's dead, so is Frank Herbert. But I do admire Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, because I have to admit, the prequels to Dune that he wrote are a great read. I love them. I enjoyed them very much. The Butlerian Jihad and all those books, they're really, really good. So I do admire Brian Herbert. I respect him a lot. Christopher Tolkien, yeah, you know, it's alright. Not as much, though. And I hope I never meet him. That would be awkward. Yeah, I just trash talk you on Twitch, and now here I am. Hello, Mr. Tolkien. But yeah, you know, I don't really like Christopher Tolkien's work as much as I like Brian Herbert's work. I think Brian Herbert is a lot more, is a lot better at what he does, you know, manipulating his father's work. But that's just this man's opinion, so... Anyway, yeah, you know, I couldn't mess with something like Tolkien, or for example, J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter. Like, you know, besides, I respect her a lot. You know, I would never kind of wanna mess with her IP and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm a Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter's awesome. I mean, I'm not a member of Pottermore or anything like that, but I have read all the books, seen all the movies, and I even have some Harry Potter merchandise here in my home. I actually have Voldemort's wand. He's my favorite character, Voldemort. Well, you see, that's the thing for about, like, for example, the Dresden Files. I'm pretty sure somebody like has the rights to that IP. So you know, I can't possibly produce an audiobook, you know, an audio reading of that without, getting into some sort of trouble or just kind of, you know what I mean. I mean, there's a lot of recent books that I've enjoyed. Hold on here. Okay. I enjoy, for example, Neil Gaiman's books a lot. Uh, I enjoy Neil Gaiman's work a lot. Uh, but, he owns his IPs, and I respect him. There's also books that I couldn't work with simply because of the size of the book, and, producing an audiobook of that. I kind of want to start with short stories. I suppose I could also read fragments, but the idea is that you can enjoy the video if you want to just watch the art, but you can also just enjoy the video if you want to have the book read to you, which is why I'm doing it with Lovecraft, because I think there's not enough good Lovecraft audiobooks. Most of them are very, very, very overproduced. So, you get all these audio effects, and you get, the person trying to be spooky and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know what you guys think, but with audiobooks, my personal taste is I just want you to read the book well, and that's it. I don't want you to put in audio effects. I don't want any of that stuff. I just want you to read the book. I just want to be able to read the book. No flourishes, please. Just read the damn book. I guess. Yeah, I also used to read the Star Wars. Back when the expanded universe was not butchered by Disney, but I used to read those and enjoy them, and I love them in audiobook format. And yeah, those were heavily produced. They would have sound effects and stuff like that from the lightsaber battles would have sound effects, and they would have different actors read the different parts and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But in the end, my taste kind of lies on the side of just read the book. Just read the damn book. Because that's all I want. I just want to read the book while I'm doing something else. So with Lovecraft, for example, you get a lot of radio novels and stuff like that, but I just want you to read the book. One of the... Oh, hey Candy Cane Steve. Haven't seen you in a few days. And Gargle Blaster, I hadn't seen you also. Have I read Leviathan Wakes? No, I have not. I have not, and I am always looking for good sci-fi. Sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. Or my favorite, actually. My actual favorite. Even more than fantasy. So, yes, a lot of time. Oh, one of my favorite audiobooks that kind of breaks a little bit my rule of the audiobook not being overproduced or anything like that, or not being this audio drama or anything like that. The World War Z audiobook is awesome. There are several versions of it. The one that's just a guy reading the book is excellent. The guy does a great job. It's very well read, very clean, very neat, awesome. But there's another version of the World War Z book, which, by the way, if you saw the movie and you thought it was garbage, whatever, good for you. Oh, okay. If you saw World War Z and you didn't like it, try to keep in mind that the movie was not the book. As far as I understand, they were kind of making another movie and just decided to get the World War Z IP and kind of modified it a little bit to be like the book. I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun. But the book is so different that it really shows that you can really kind of notice that it really wasn't going to originally be World War Z. You can tell right away that it was just going to be something else, and they decided to get the World War Z IP there. It's like I said, I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's just not the book at all. This is not one of those cases where it's like the book was better than the movie. No, the book is different from the movie. And the book is a series of interviews. Basically, the author has this kind of, I wouldn't even call it a role play thing, where where the author kind of he wrote a book before that called The Zombie Survival Guide. I don't remember what the name was. It was basically a book about surviving the zombie apocalypse. And in World War Z, he kind of is that character. He's the guy that wrote that book. And it's after the zombie apocalypse, and he's interviewing people that survived the zombie apocalypse. And, you know, kind of asking them questions, and they're kind of narrating the zombie apocalypse from their point of view. It's an amazing book because it's really interesting. Like, you start building the story of everything that happened, and you get like all these different points of view and stuff like that about the zombie apocalypse. It's an amazing book. Now, if you get the audiobook, like I was saying, there's two versions. One is a regular version, just read by one guy, pretty well made, very well read. I think it's a guy that's even famous for reading audiobooks. But you can also get like the enhanced version, where they got different actors to read the parts. You got different actors to read the parts of each person that's being interviewed, and it is amazing. It is so good. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And just like Furball, when I watched the movie, I hadn't read the book. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a interesting movie, and I thought it had some very interesting points about the zombie apocalypse. And so it kind of made me curious about the book, and I decided I wanted to read it. And when I read it, it was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, I can still appreciate the movie for what it is. And now I have an appreciation for the book. And, you know, I don't fault the author or whatever for selling his IP that way. I'm sure he got handsomely paid for it, so whatever. So yeah, I highly recommend that audiobook. I highly recommend that audiobook in case anybody wants to read a World War Z audiobook. Or listen to our World War Z audiobook. Highly recommended. What else? Where was it? Oh, and I recently got told by a good friend of mine that they're coming out with a sequel to World War Z. So I'm guessing it did well. Which, you know, I'm always happy to know. I'm not. You know, it's always good that they did well. But yeah, they're coming out with a sequel. So I'm curious about that. I don't know when it's going to come out or anything, but I'm curious about a World War Z sequel. There's there's some people that are just brilliant at reading audiobooks. Um, not I'm not always fond of audiobooks that are read by the author. They're not always like the author is not always that good, but some of them are some of them are really awesome when they're read by the author. I especially love like one of my personal favorites is I'm not very much into poetry, and when I'm into poetry, I'm into like sort of if I call it alternative poetry, it sounds very obnoxious of me, but it's kind of what it is. Like for example, I like Poe as a poet, and one of my favorite poets then was because he's dead. Shel Silverstein. And his poems are crazy and fun and all that kind of stuff. And if you manage to get your hands on the audio versions of his books, it's him reading the poems. So okay, just to kind of contextualize you guys. Okay, Shel Silverstein is was an American poet that did children's rhymes. But it's one of those children's poetry that you kind of read later on in your life and you don't really understand why anybody would consider that children's poetry, because like the humor is very dark humor, and sometimes he deals with some topics that are like, okay, I don't see kids getting this. But it's also funny and entertaining and all that kind of stuff. And he's most famous for his short story, The Giving Tree, which is a very sappy, very sad story that gets shared so much on social media that you've probably heard about The Giving Tree. But anyway, his other poetry is like I described. And he died actually not too long ago. Anyway, the audio versions of his poem are him reading them. And he reads them with a guitar. He kind of sings parts of it and recites other parts of it. And he is clearly either stoned out of his mind or drunk as hell. One of those two, or probably both. It is amazing. It is so good. Like, this guy is really out of his mind. Drunk, stoned, so lost, reading these poems, laughing his ass off, singing, playing the guitar. It is so good. So if you want to have like a funny, dark humor, children's poetry read to you by a drunk, stoned poet, I would definitely recommend listening to Shel Silverstein reading his poetry. It is so much fun. So yeah, well, that was my poetry recommendation, because we have everything on this show. We recommend poetry, and we do all sorts of stuff here. Yeah, why not? And like I said, I'm really not into poetry, but this kind of poetry I am into, or Edgar Allan Poe's poetry I am into. Just not into romantic poetry. Maybe I could also read Shakespeare. Not Romeo and Juliet, though. I hate Romeo and Juliet. Uh, do we do knitting? Are you asking me if you should knit or if I knit? Because if I knit, no, I don't knit. But if you're asking me if you should knit, yeah, I love knitting. I'm not very fond of wool, however. I think it's itchy. So I'm not very fond of wool. And I rarely ever wear a sweater or anything like that. But knitting is beautiful. So if you're asking if you should knit, definitely. So, what plans do people have for this weekend? If any. Well, the thing about knitting, Yodel, is that it is so popular that you'll find tons of tutorials for it on the internet. My girlfriend actually took wanted to learn knitting, and she just learned it watching tutorials and stuff like that, and then she got books and all that kind of stuff, and she's a pretty proficient knitter now. But yeah, she just did it. She just did it YouTube and stuff like that. Candy Cane Steve is going to be working this weekend. What on? Conventions? Convention stuff? Ah, Furball is going to be playing Pathfinder. So envious. That's awesome, man. I really wish I could work for Paizo. You know, as an illustrator. I would really love to work for them. I love Pathfinder, and that is definitely a job I would love to have. Being an artist for Pathfinder. I might need to organize a portfolio and send it to see what happens. Oh wow, I missed a bunch of stuff in the chat room. Let's see. Uh Continuing your comic. Killed your hand last night trying to draw a goblin. Do you have wrist issues, Vaughn? And Candy Cane Steve is going to be working on conventions and artwork. And Yodel is going to sleep through Saturday. Candy Cane Steve has a whole bunch of cats to draw. That's interesting. Write, study, and program. Matilal plays Pathfinder but DMs D&D. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, Candy Cane, that you kind of like, okay, you know, I have to work on my portfolio so I can send it to these places, but then you get stuff to do. So it's like, oh, okay, you know, after I do this, then. And then you get something else to do, and, well, let's do this. And, well, paying the rent always takes precedence over those things. So, you know, I always end up taking commissions and not having any time to do other things. But, hey, we'll make the time. Time has to be made. There's 24 hours in every single day. Never more, never less. And, you know, we organize them how we see fit. And please don't anybody start with that whole thing that a day does not have 24 hours, that it has this other amount, and yeah, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not your wrist. It's always it's always such a bad thing when artists start getting wrist problems. So common too. A lot of my students get it. Like by the end of the semester that they take with me, a lot of my students have wrist problems. And I so starting next semester, I'm actually going to teach them on the very first class wrist exercises that they can do in order to survive. Thing is, knowing their attitudes and stuff like that, they're probably not going to do any of them and think it's kind of stupid, but okay. I'll do it all the same. Because, yeah, by the end of the semester, a lot of them have wrist problems. And that's not something you want as an artist. I am lucky enough to not be affected by wrist problems, but that's because of the Kung Fu Monkey Grip. Yeah, I know the day doesn't actually have 24 hours and that you know we have like some leftover time or something like that, but you guys know what I mean. You know, the days all, as far as we're concerned, the days all have the same amount of time and you can actually plan. Make the best of it. There's no time to sit down and watch the world go by. There's so much stuff to do. So what about the rest of yous? What are you guys doing this weekend? Don't worry, Idol. I think we got it. Okay, that went pretty well. Let's join these together. Right. Some deployment work from midnight to 4 a.m. That sounds interesting. Not sure what your job is, though. And if you're saying that you have deployment work, it sounds almost like you can't tell us. Oh, software developer, okay. My my work always seems to attract your kind of people. I sometimes wonder why. Not too much. You can't say what you're deploying, but there is a deployment. That's the main issue here. There is a deployment. Not gonna say what, but there is a deployment. Yes, you're kind. Programmers. I've always been intrigued by why. Because I've never really considered myself to be an extremely smart person or to have an extremely smart comic. You know, like KCD or Saturday Morning Breakfast Cereal, which are smart comics that give a lot of room for thought. And they are the kind that engineers and stuff like that would be attracted to. No, this is commissioned. Like, this is a stupid comic. But for some reason, there's a lot of programmers that read this. I don't really know why. I mean, right now I'm just kind of like happy because I'm trying to learn. So it's awesome. But it's kind of like, oh, I feel so stupid now. This part is never the most fun, but okay. Oh, thank you, Vaughn. That's very flattering. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Well, that offhand comment just ended up stroking my ego for the rest of the day. That's awesome. Well, I do feel the need to warn you. Today's comic is not smart. It is not smart at all. But it is how I feel about something that just pisses me off irrationally. Oh wow, okay, now I'm gonna start blushing, so okay, that's enough with the flattery, guys. Let's let's change topics here. Okay, I actually do have a topic I want to propose for the chat room, and it's a topic that we started yesterday, but there was a part of it that we didn't cover, and I was kind of curious about it. So yesterday we were talking about stuff that we think is somewhat underrated, that we don't think it's awesome, but we think it gets like more hate than it deserves. And one of the possibilities in that topic was music. Now, I love music. I have no musical skill whatsoever, but I do love music, and I love listening to music. And a lot of music gets a lot of hatred. So I was thinking, okay, from yesterday, I wanted, I really kind of wanted, I was curious about that. Like we talked about movies, and stuff like that. But I was curious. Okay, what music do you guys think is not amazing? It's not a masterpiece. It's not the best music ever, but it gets a lot of unfair hatred. If anybody says Justin Bieber, you're out. But other than that, anything's fair game. So, what do you think? I mean, of course, let's not be too obscure, because if you start getting obscure, we're not going to know what you're talking about. But yeah, what music do you think gets unfair hatred? No, it's not amazing. It's not the best, but people really should ease up on it. Yodel, I'm gonna say I have never actually heard Insane Clown Posse. Never in my life. Never heard it. I don't even know what it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't even know what genre of music it is. Is it rap? I think it's rap. Did I just sound like an incredibly old dude? I think I did. No, 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 no. I don't think Insane Clown Posse is obscure. I think everybody knows about it, but I've just never heard it, and for no reason either. I'm not like you're saying like, oh, I've never heard it. I'm better than you. No, I've just never heard it. You too. Uh, yeah, but I do think U2 is amazing. I think it's excellent music. I think it's really good. Not a super fan, but I do have some U2 MP3s on my list, and I occasionally listen to them. I don't think people actually hate U2. I think people just hate Bono, which like I will neither defend nor criticize. Like I don't know the guy. I'm not very much into activists though, so there is that. I'm not a big fan of activists, but I think people don't hate you too. I think people hate Bono. UB40. Wow, yeah, that is a blast from the past. UB40. Wow, does that even still exist? UB40. I'm kind of under the impression that it doesn't. Like, but then it always happens with those groups that you kind of think that they're done and that they don't exist anymore, and then you go and yeah, they're still touring and together and all that kind of stuff, playing bar mitzvahs or something like that. Well, let me explain, Candy Cane Steve. It's not that I don't like activists. I'm definitely an animal rights kind of person and stuff like that. I think what I don't like is people like people like Bono doing that kind of stuff. I think there's a lot of help they can do and stuff like that, but a lot of time they're just like a lot of time activists are just criticizing people and that's it. And I realize there's a lot of like there's a lot to be said about me criticizing people for criticizing people. You guys get what I mean. Like activists are sometimes just annoying as hell. They're never gonna be happy. Nothing is ever gonna be right for them. I do think there are a lot of things that are worth fighting for, and by all means, fight for them. But after a certain point, it's kind of like, okay, dude, you're getting you're getting on people's nerves. Apparently, nothing is good enough for you. Uh, yes, of course I remember the B-52s, Mr. McAllister. Of course I remember. I used to love the B-52s. I remember I also used to think that the singer was super hot. I have not seen the singer of the B-52s for many, many years, so if she's not actually hot, it's not my fault. Like, this is just a very distant memory. But yeah, I used to love the B-52s. They were awesome. Okay. Yeah, Love Shack. I remember the Love Shack. And Rock Lobster! How can you forget the Rock Lobster? There was Love Shack and the Rock Lobster, and I think that's it. I think that's all I remember. Uh, I remember from the B-52s that I used to think that Shiny Happy People by REM was the B-52s. And, no, it was not. It was REM. But you have to admit that when you listen to Shiny Happy People by REM, it sounds like the B-52s. For all I know, maybe the lead singer from B-52s was collaborating with REM. That happens sometimes. Don't worry, Mr. McAllister, I feel old too. And yeah, I love REM, but not all of it. I'll agree with McAllister there. REM is a great band sometimes. I do think I got sick of losing my religion. Uh, but they do have a lot of songs that I love. I think I started getting annoyed by REM when they won a Grammy, because when they won a Grammy, then there was like no way. I mean, back when the Grammys were relevant, there was no way you could like. Back then, when REM won a Grammy, I still listened to a radio, right? And when they won a Grammy, like every single radio station overplayed "Losing My Religion" to a point where I just hated the damn song. And to this point, I think it's an amazing song, but oh man, I can't stand it. It was just too overplayed. But they had some amazing songs. And I also liked a lot how they experimented uh, um, with different like styles and stuff like that. You know, like for example, "Shiny Happy People," which was like. Now I might be making an extreme mistake here. I'm gonna actually check and see that "Shiny Happy People" is in fact "Shiny Happy People" by REM. Okay, yeah, I was like, I've been talking all this time about "Shiny Happy People," and I just wanted to make sure that it was in fact REM. Um, no, not that I'm talking all this time about a song that isn't even them. But yeah, it was. I remember that video sucks. That the video for "Shiny Happy People" is really bad. Well, The End of the World as We Know It. That song is awesome. I love it. So much fun. Okay, well, I suppose I should. I actually love Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe. I think it's an awesome, fun song. I love it. Yeah. So there's my song. I think gets a lot of unfair hatred. Like I know a lot of people love the song, but most people kind of love it in a either an ironic way or a humorous way. No, I actually think it's an awesome song. I love it. I love listening to it. So there you go. I like Call Me Maybe. Uh, Taylor Swift's Bad Blood. I have listened to it, but I have to admit I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. I'm gonna have to give it a second look. I know my girlfriend really likes it. I'm gonna have to give it a second look. I saw the video though. The video was pretty awesome. Hey Voltus, what's up? How's the train? I haven't actually listened to a lot of Taylor Swift. I think she's beautiful. I'll say that. I think she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. But I haven't listened to a lot of her music. I'll have to check it out. Pretty sure my girlfriend would be very happy about me checking out Taylor Swift. He likes her a lot. I did once try to sing We Are Never Getting Back Together, just for fun, with some friends. But that didn't work out. It's it's not easy for a guy with my voice to sing that song. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. You know, just for laughs. Uh, Miley Cyrus. What have I heard of Miley Cyrus? I remember Wrecking Ball, but I I'm of the I'm of the camp that thinks Miley Cyrus is hot. So when Wrecking Ball came out, I was kind of focused on the hot girl that was in her underwear on a wrecking ball. So so I kind of missed uh, a lot of the music. I mean, the woman has no ass, but she's pretty hot, and in other aspects. But yeah, so I never really paid much of attention to Wrecking Ball. Coldplay. I actually don't like Coldplay. I hate Coldplay, but I love I love Coldplay when other people play Coldplay. So, for example, the Piano Guys version of I forget which Coldplay song it is, but the Piano Guys have a version, a cover of one of Coldplay's songs. Uh, I love it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. So, I think I genuinely don't like just the people in Coldplay because I actually like the song when somebody else does it. And the Piano Guys, like, they really like grab some music and make it way better. Um, but then there's some stuff that they do that I'm not exactly crazy about. For example, one of the things. Oh, okay. Here's another question that would make an interesting topic for us to discuss while I draw the comic. What do you not understand why people like it so much? And let's not go into like stuff that's just popular with tweens or something like that. Like you don't understand why tweens like Justin Bieber or stuff like that. Like yeah, you know they're tweens. Uh, or like why people like Twilight. Yeah, you know because people have bad taste. That's it. But for example, now that we talk about the Piano Guys, I don't understand why people like Lindsay Sterling so much. I mean, I love violins, but she's not that great a violinist, and she, uh, uh, like, yeah, she's hot, but that's not enough to make me like a musician or her music. I never really understood why people like Lindsay Sterling so much. That being said, Miss Sterling, if you're listening and you want to do some kind of work together, I love you. I'll sell out. I don't care. But yeah, and I remember that the Piano Guys did a song with Lindsay Sterling, and I did not like it. The Piano Guys are normally very elegant and very measured, and Lindsay Sterling is anything but that. But, you know, tastes. We all have our own, and well, that was mine. This is coming along nicely. Add a little bit of red. Why does this always happen? I'm sorry, Mr. McAllister. I hope it's not our fault. Why are you getting so little work done? Well, I guess you can all. Oh, wow! I was gonna be annoyed by the noise, but there was like a trio of wiener dogs outside. I love wiener dogs. They're one of my favorite breeds of dogs. Oh, that's so awesome. A trio of wiener dogs. I love wiener dogs. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree with. Okay, well, okay, wiener dogs. Okay, wiener dogs. I love you, but you need to. I'm guessing you guys can hear all the commotion outside. And wiener dogs, I love you, but you really need to move on now. I'm trying to do something here. Yes, yes. Wiener dogs are dachshunds. Oh, there's going to be a lot of barking in a minute. Because the wiener dogs are now interacting with the neighbor's husky. And it's going to get very barky in a minute. Okay. I'm terribly sorry about that noise outside, guys. I'm terribly sorry. But there's nothing I can do. I need to get a better mic. But until then, it's like anything that happens in my environment, you guys are gonna hear it. I'm just hoping I haven't farted loud enough for you guys to hear it. But it's very difficult for me to get angry with a wiener dog. I can't. I love them too much. And I normally, like, I will get pissed off in a second if a kid is making noise outside my house. But dogs, never. Never. They're dogs. Like, why would they understand that they should be quiet in a residential area? No. So, you know, wiener dogs can make all the noise they want. I'm not gonna get pissed off at a wiener dog. I love them too much. I am very tolerant with animals. Aww. And I love the fact that they're two of the wiener dogs are hairy, so they're mixed breeds, and I love that. And I just love dogs. I don't have any dogs though, because I'm not the kind of person that would walk a dog every day. That definitely wouldn't work for me. But I love dogs. They're awesome. Dogs are so cool. Yeah, let's see if we can make a little bit more dramatic lighting on this last one. Okay, that's awesome, Voltus. Is that the train? Okay, Voltus just sent me a photo of him watching the stream, but I think he's on the train. With what seems to be a bottle of liquor. Which, by the way, I think is probably the best way to enjoy this broadcast. With a nice bottle of your favorite liquor. Okay, wait, let's change something here. Let's make this final panel a little bit more dramatic. We'll add a new color to it. Come on. Okay. So, hopefully by this moment, you guys are wondering what it is that pisses me off so much. Anybody care to guess? We're not talking about something that would actually like be considered horrible, so keep that in mind. I mean, it's nothing serious. So anybody care to guess what pisses you off irrationally at this moment? That like you're sure the world will not understand, but oh, bye Candy Cane Steve. Yeah, but like not serious stuff, you know, just let's see. There we go. Yeah, children do piss me off. They really do. But okay, let's see. Okay, let's write. No, wait. Before we write, let's do something else. Okay, so that would place us here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a panel here that would have this. Okay, great. We're gonna set this with a stroke. 6, maybe? Okay, that's good enough, and we'll give it a color. Which would be, okay, this one on the opposite end, that would be kind of like, maybe here. Okay. Wait, no, I actually also need to set them. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. So here we will quickly sketch whatever it is that's making me angry. So okay, let's see. We do a quick little sketch here of the stuff that makes me. Let's move this a little bit down. Okay, so that's right here. Let's see. This time I have to start like moving around the keyboard and stuff like that because this I'm gonna write. And let's see. No, don't worry. I'll adjust the. Let's see. 0, and we will use a better font for that. There we go. So the idea here is I'll just kind of start. No, wait, that's too much. No, that's too little. 27 should be enough. Yes. I'll just kind of start with the whole okay, and just let you guys kind of discover it as I go. Okay. Of course, this is not going to be the same. This is going to be. No, wait, we should do this different. Wait, and actually I should start writing the reaction. So this one we're going to use my own font. Here, this would be minus 210. Wait, oh no, shit. Okay, minus 210. Optical. Okay, there we go. Wait, no, 200. Come on. Okay. Scratch my eye. Oh man, I need a bathroom break. Okay, in 5 minutes. Yeah, so I'm never really insulted by jokes about me being bald. I am bald. I know. So, okay. Let's see. I actually enjoy being bald. So, no, it's not insulting to me. Okay, Pixie, it's difficult to be on the keyboard with you sitting on it. Okay. No. No, I'm sorry. I can't work on the keyboard with you sitting on it. Wait, no, it's all good. If I say what I... Okay, come on. Come on, Pixie. I'll just let you stay there, okay. No, it's all good. That's not what I want to say. I want to say something like... I don't want to say it's all good because it sounds like me and my work is all good, but no, it's, we're cool. Okay, yeah, that's better. No problem if you don't like me or my work. We're cool. Yeah, no problem. You don't like me or my work? We're cool. Pixie, stop sitting on the keyboard. No, I'm sorry. We can't do... No, no, no. I have to work. This is how I make a living. You do understand this, right? This is where your food comes from. Okay. Okay, wow, I'm gonna have to check this word. Wait, no, come on, Pixie. Yes, yes, I was writing it right. I should believe in myself. Okay, wait, let's move this here. Let's do it again. No, wait. Okay, No, that's not. Wait, calm down. Let's chill and. No. Let's chill. Sound the Netflix and chill, all that kind of stuff. Okay, calm down. Let's talk about this. Okay. I'll move this one here. Okay. And let's see, and wait a minute, I need to see something. Wait. I'm looking for a reference here. No, Pixie, I'm busy right now. Wait. What I'm doing here is I'm on the other screen looking for. Wait. Okay, and there we go. But I don't think that's the one. I don't think that's the image of the. Let's see. That would be Facebook Messenger thumbs up. Ah, yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah, it's not. That's not the way it looks like. This is what it looks like in a chat conversation. Okay. So yeah, there you go. That is what drives me wild for some reason. Like that damn thumb is like so filled with sarcasm and stuff that I can't really come on, Pixie. I can't really visualize anybody sending that thumb if it's not like sarcastic. And it really pisses me off when I'm talking to somebody through chat and they answer me with that thumb. Like, no, but understand that it's not a like. I like I like likes as much as anybody else. It's when we're chatting and you answer me with a thumbs up. It's like sarcastic beyond belief. I don't know. Like, it just pisses me off so much. See? I'm gonna change this for no, Facebook Messenger. I don't know if they call it a like in chat. Okay, now, wow, we're almost done. We're like 20 minutes away from being done, so we have just enough time to add a ninja. Nope. I don't know why you insist on doing it. I have you. I have you. I will cradle you like a baby, but I will not. Okay. You want me to shut up then? Oh yeah, you definitely want me to shut up. Okay. But. Hmm? Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll agree to that, AJ. What are you doing? Relax, Pixie. We're almost done. Don't worry. Okay, now let's add a ninja. Where are we gonna add a ninja? I know. No, wait. Okay, AJ. You have a good move. Move it. Wait. I have an idea. It's sometimes difficult to find places to hide a ninja. But that wouldn't be a problem for a ninja. Where is it? Where is it? Man, I went all these 3 hours without a bathroom break. As soon as I'm done with this broadcast, it's gonna be like, okay, gotta run to the bathroom. Oh, give it a line? I haven't wanted to have a line. There we go. Well, you guys got to see the ninja. Sorry if that spoils it for you. Should have warned you. It's getting a little bit slow in here. Yeah, by this point, Photoshop is not happy. Come on, Pixie. You're... Yeah, by this point, Photoshop is like not happy. Pixie is not happy. Nobody's happy at this point. Bye, Vaughn. See you Monday. Or tonight, if you're gonna check it out tonight. Let's see how obvious this ninja ends up. I think it's going to be a pretty obvious ninja, but... well, we can't win them all. Not all ninjas can be the best ninja. Wait, somebody said buy all. Oh, okay, Vaughn. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kick you out. You wrote by AJ and then an exclamation point, and I read it as by all. I'm like, oh, okay, he's leaving. Bye now. So, yeah. Didn't mean to kick you out of the broadcast. You are welcome, of course, to stay. As long as you like. Whoa. What? Yeah, it's all AJ's fault. It always is. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to be happy once she discovers that I said it was her fault. She is not a woman to be messed with. Wow, this is really slow. Like I explained yesterday, Photoshop does not like it when you have like too many layers on top of another layer. It starts getting a little slow. Pixie, come on, what are you doing? I know you're tired, but please just... Okay. Move a little bit in that direction, okay? There you go. I'll just move the camera so it's more focused on you. And there you go. See, now you got all the protagonism that you wanted. This is a very nice pastel colored ninja. Oh, come on. Come on, Photoshop. You can do this. We're almost done. Come on. Photoshop is really unhappy right now. Hey, Pixie. Lower the opacity a little bit. There we go. And there is the comic. Right on time, too. It's 11:30. Okay. So yeah, this is a comic about how I like every time somebody sends me a thumbs up through Facebook Messenger, I feel like it's the most sarcastic thing ever. It's condescending, sarcastic, all that kind of stuff. I feel so insulted when somebody sends me a thumbs up through Facebook Messenger. It's not the same as a like on Facebook or anything like that, but if we're talking and I say like, okay, I'll meet you later, and you send me a thumbs up, I will be so insulted. It's to the point where I actually apologize to people if because on the cell phone, like I have big fat fingers. I mean, not fat fingers, but my you can see the tips of my fingers are very round. You can see it right there. Very, very round fingers. And I end up sending thumbs up through Facebook Messenger on my cell phone all the time by accident. And whenever I do, I apologize like so much. I explain like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I take photos of my fingers and like, "Look, my fingers are just too round at the tip." I end up pressing a lot of stuff by accident and everything. I think it's the most condescending, sarcastic answer you can give a person. I have to be honest, like, in real life, uh, a thumbs up is I think a thumbs up in real life is also the same thing. I think a thumbs up in real life is like super sarcastic, and I don't see why anybody would still do it. So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. So I'm actually very happy that I managed to draw the entire comic in one sitting for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys tonight if you want, where I will be broadcasting Dark Souls live as I work on the project I told you about earlier. So I'll be doing that tonight. Pixie, please don't do that. No, don't do that, my love. Don't do that. So Pixie also says goodbye. And that's pretty much it for today. Goodbye, Voltus. Hope you have a safe end of a trip home. And yeah, so yeah, I hate thumbs up. I don't mind Facebook likes, so don't forget to like me on Facebook, but I don't really like thumbs up. And if like we're talking in real life and I say something and you go like this, I will raise an eyebrow and look at you like, whoa, what is wrong with you? But that's just me. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining me this morning. I will see you tonight when I broadcast Dark Souls live, or I will see you on Monday when I just work on my art. Until then, thank you everybody in the chat room for hanging out. Thank you everybody for... No, Pixie, come on! Thank you everybody for making this a fun broadcast. It was a great week. I will see you tonight or next week. So until then, let's get back in the webcam. Until then, I am Abnormal, and this has been the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch broadcast. It is November 6th of 2015, and it is now 11:35. How many hours away? Well, it is 11:30 right now, and I'll probably be doing that tonight around 8. So that places it at 9 hours away. No, 8 hours. 8 hours away. Right, Pixie? Yeah. So 8 hours away. Okay, Vaughn. Sorry I kicked you out earlier. Right, Pixie? Want a kiss? So yeah, that's 8 hours away. In 8 hours, I will be broadcasting Dark Souls live. And I'll just see you guys on Monday if you can't make it. Have a great weekend for anybody that I'm not going to see tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe on the Twitch channel and on YouTube. And that's it for now. So I'll just do that thing and okay.